could start over, we could start over, we could start over. Oh, for the lonely, for the ashamed, the misunderstood.
Unconditional love typically has conditions, doesn't it? Hey everybody, good morning. My name is Sean Murphy. I hope you're doing amazing. There we go with the music. And I wanted to have a little conversation with you today about what are the conditions that you use every day? What are the conditions you use every day that keep you stuck? See, all of this conversation we have about building our dreams and having more success and doing all of the right things and doing our journaling and our gratitude and our messages. Jim Rohn said it best. If it's easy to do, it's also easy not to do. So you got to ask yourself this question. What are the conditions you're putting on your success? Tough question, tough question. Happy Thursday morning. Here's the tough question. You ready? How hard is it, listen carefully, how hard is it for the universe to give you what you want? How hard is it for God to give you what you want? I hear so many people say, I'm faithful and I read the Bible and I understand. And yet they go and they cuss and they swear and they use bad words and they do things and they have no faith. Oh, I'm faithful. And if you were faithful, you wouldn't doubt. Faith of a mustard seed. Now, I'm not here to be some evangelist. God knows that I'm one of the examples in the Bible he uses as a sinner. Just saying. So what is the unconditional success? What are the rules you have for unconditional success? That it's got to be tough? Is that a condition? That you've got to be better than others? Is that a condition? That you have to understand algorithms? Is that a condition? What are the conditions you currently have? And you'd write them down. If you'd write them down, you'd see it's probably a laundry list of things. Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich about setting up your DMP, the 17 laws of success. Right? He talks about setting up your DMP, your definite major purpose. He also called it your definite chief aim. How far away is your target? How close is your target? If you were to do some visualization, we did a visualization training not too long ago. And in this visualization training, one of the things that they'll teach you, one of the things that I shared with you is that when you close your eyes, can you see your dream? Well, not really. I mean, I haven't had it yet. Well, Jim Rohn would say that's a clue. That's a clue. Waddles in the book Science of Getting Rich says it's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. And I can tell you the condition that you have, the condition that you're setting up for yourself for success, you're doing a certain thing, but it's not quite clicking a certain way. See, it clicks in a certain way when you say things like, oh my gosh, you won't believe what happened today. You won't believe what happened today. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. See, that's when it clicked. Why is that so unbelievable? If that's what you want, that's what you desire. This is all about your self-talk. As a certified trainer in self-talk and one of the Self-Talk Institute's faculty members, you can really change your day if you understand how to set up your self-talk. And if you want to learn more about that, go to Self-Talk with Sean, selftalkwithsean.com, and you can go for 30 days and get using self-talk applications. And that's from the Self-Talk Institute. So what do you do? What do you change? It's about, Tony Robbins talks about the triangle, right? If you were to draw a pyramid, a triangle on your paper, the bottom is the physiology. The bottom is the physiology. If you're not shifting your body when you get stuck, when you get down, when you slide the slope and you're down in frustration land or aggravation land or challenge land, the challenge is that if you're not changing your body, you literally have to change the physicalness of your body. You have to create some new neurochemicals. I'm also a neuroencoding trained specialist. I'm a self-talk specialist, a mental toughness specialist. I've been trained in all of these things. Why? Because it's not your brain that keeps you stuck. It's your body that keeps you stuck. How do I know it's not your brain that keeps you stuck? It's not your brain that keeps you stuck because you can have the good ideas. The universe isn't limiting your capability or your capacity. you are. Your body is your old story. It's a thing called neuroencoding. You're like, oh, well, I need to go talk to more people. And your body goes, no, you're not. And you got to go to the bathroom. Or you get a headache. Or you're like, but you get a pain in your side. Oh, man. Oh, why does that happen? You get a knot in your stomach. Why? You just had a good dream about something you wanted to do. How many of you feel like you're going to throw up when you want to go publicly speak? That's neuroencoding. Nobody's going to throw tomatoes at you, at least not many. Why is it? Because we've been taught that public speaking is fearful. Science and research and exit polls say that public speaking is number one. Number one, people would rather die in a fiery car crash than get up and publicly speak. See, there's a condition. So if you're going to have this desire to want to do more, give more, be more, if you want to help people, drop an H in the chat if you want to help people. I can tell you this, you're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to talk to people, unless you're counting on your insurance money to be shared and divvied up among people who are friends. See, that's the only help. Some of us, this is a tough one. This is not an uncommon thought for many. How many of you thought, right, here's the conditions about love. How many of you thought they'd be better off without me? See, that's a tough thought. I've thought about it. It happens regularly. It's one of those things. It's a paradigm. It's a thing that runs in our bodies. Everybody has these thoughts. They'd be better off without me. They could use the insurance money. We justify having such negative thoughts. We put conditions on them being better. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. That's a selfish thought. And then we don't act on it and we move along and we have this, but yet it puts an echo in our vibration. It puts an echo in our vibration. Where did that echo come from? We know that's not the truth. We know that that isn't even a possible condition, yet it shows up in our spirit. Why? Because sometimes the energies we have get manifested into language that is unwanted. And therefore, we start putting conditions back on our unconditional life. What are the conditions externally that are guiding you, pushing you, dragging you down? Do you have a condition of, I don't have enough money? We think it's childlike. Although I think Jesus said somewhere, have childlike faith. We think it's childlike to say things that in the evidence of everything around doesn't appear to have one shred of truth. That's a condition. This unconditional life that you're living is being just absolutely slammed to the ground, body slammed by the condition of you're letting your physical world dictate what you feel. That's what's called faith, my friend. So when you decide that you're going to have more, what does it say in the beginning of the Bible, Genesis? Let there be light, the spoken word. He spoke everything into life. We've been given this. In the Bible, it also says, even the least of you can do this and more. I'm not a theologian. I'm just using literature that says that it's been around for a while. And it was around before, listen carefully. All of these rules were around before it got written down. At the beginning of the creation of the earth, let there be light. The spoken word was already there. Why are we not? What are you speaking? I can promise you this. My mentor would say, what you think about and think about, you bring about. Right? You've heard that in The Secret. What you think about and think about, you bring about. Congratulations. I say congratulations. Where you're at, it's your thoughts. So if you're in pain right now, that's your thoughts. You might be in physical pain. Maybe you broke a leg or something. God forbid. I hope not. I wish you happy healing and fast healing and healing light. But if you're sitting and nobody would know that there's anything physically wrong with you and you don't have any internal, organs being eaten by something, you've spoken yourself into this moment. You've put conditions on your unconditional. How do we shift that? Understand what Jung talked about when we talk about unconditional love. Carl Jung talked about this idea that we have these archetypes, these personalities. Any personality trait test that you take, quiz that you take, talks about 4 personalities. Why are you not using those 4 personalities? Why do you keep beating yourself up? The one who wants more argues with the one who doesn't want more, the old story. And we talk about breaking old habits. Break old habits. You got to break your old habits. Well, you can't break your old habits if you use them this morning. They're not old habits. That's why it's so hard for people to break their old habits, because they're not old, they're new. You use them today. What are some of the new habits you use today? Did you pick up your phone and go, I didn't get any likes? That's an old habit that you used today, became a new habit, became reinforced today, became this idea that how you set up conditions for the way you wake up in the morning. Did you brush your teeth? Well, I got to brush my teeth. No, you don't have to. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying you can skip an hour. But see, you have such a routine, and that routine is keeping you stuck because it is the conditions that your body knows that if you start off this way, listen, if I take some flour and I put some eggs and I put a little bit of water in there and I add some yeast, what do you think I'm going to make? Based upon me putting some yeast and flour and some water and some eggs, what do you think I'm going to make? Haven't I already set the recipe for the condition for bread? I don't know how to make bread, so maybe I said something wrong. So don't get after me if I'm like, well, you don't make bread that way. Okay, you have different conditions. If I were to open a box of Betty Crocker brownie mix and pour it into a bowl and add some eggs and water, and you happen to see the brownie mix box, but you didn't see me pour it in, but you're looking at it and you go, boy, that looks and smells an awful lot like brownies. Isn't that the recipe for brownies? What have you set up? You have set up your recipe, your conditional recipe for today. Jim Rohn said, favorite word, until you decide to change it. How do you change it? You've got to become aware of the unknown. I call the past, I call it the plains, right? Imagine heading out across from the East Coast to the West Coast, heading out across the plains, and you turn around and there's nothing but nothing. Nothing but nothing. And then all of a sudden, what happens is that this nothing but nothing changes. And when you turn around and face the front, all of a sudden you're looking into the frontier. Many of you are riding your wagon of success backwards, looking at the plains to justify, oh yeah, that happened. Oh yeah, that happened. And you're not even turned around. Do you know what's that phrase we've all heard? It's why the rear view mirror is so small compared to the windshield. It's time to start looking out your windshield of unconditional. How hard is it for the universe to deliver to you what you want? Seriously, how hard is it? How hard is it for the universe, for God to deliver $10,000 to you? You've had it happen in the past when you really needed it, when you were absolutely, life was at the door and the wolves were knocking and everything else. And all of a sudden you go, oh my God, you won't believe what just happened. Somebody paid me an invoice that they hadn't paid me before. I got a refund that I didn't expect to get. All of this is what happens when we take off the conditions. So I'd encourage you today, pay attention to the conditions you use to walk to your car. Pay attention to the conditions you use to sit down at your desk, to turn on your computer, to go do a live. Pay attention to the conditions you use to do your reels. Pay attention to the conditions you use to write in your notebook. Pay attention to the conditions you use to eat. The biggest reason you're stuck where you are is because of the neuroencoding in your body. Your body runs you. Your body runs you. I don't feel like that. That's not goal setting. That's your body. I don't feel like that. I don't want to do that. Which part of you doesn't want to succeed? Just saying. I appreciate you so very much. Hey, listen, Instagram and Facebook and all of you, I'm doing some YouTube shorts every day. I've got a dear friend who's holding me accountable to do YouTube shorts every day. You may want to check those out. They're kind of cool. 60 seconds of fun, and I've never done a YouTube short before, and so we're going to get started. So I'm on the path with you. I don't know YouTube shorts. That's beyond me. And somebody goes, get your button gear. I'm like, okay, I can do that. Change the way you look at things, Dr. Wayne Dyer said, and the things you look at change. We need you. Here's what I know. Here's the thing that is unconditional. We need you. I need you. My family needs you. And if I know I need you, there's a lot of other families who need you too. Let's take off the conditions. And let's live an unconditional life. Smile more. I love you tons. I'm your head brain training unconditional misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Love you tons. Instagram. Till then, bye for now. And YouTube, thank you for all of the views. Thank you for the new folks coming on board. Thank you for the comments. And I appreciate you so very, 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 very much. I will see you all where? I'll see you